Seattle's Morning News. This is Dave Ross with Heather Bosch, who's in for Colleen O'Brien. Joining us now, CBS White House correspondent and interim anchor of the CBS Evening News, Major Garrett. Good morning. How'd you fall into that gig, Major?
This is Susan Zirinsky, our president and senior executive producer, asked me if I could spend a week in New York on the anchor desk. I've never done it before, but let me tell you, that's not something you say, I wonder about. You step up and you do the best you can. And it's been amazing to see how the broadcast comes together, and the incredible team in New York and all across the country who work all day long to put that broadcast together. When you're in Washington, you can sort of get one interpretation or view of that. Here in New York, and seeing how the entire process comes together, it's been thrilling to watch and a great privilege to just hold the desk for a week. I'm just a substitute teacher. That's it.
Well, you look good. To the events at the White House, well, you picked a heck of a time not to be in Washington. Huh?
Yes, exactly.
What's the future of these negotiations over highways and bridges at this point?
So it looks very bad right now. The president said, you can't have a deal with me, and I'm not going to find a deal on infrastructure while you're investigating. The deeper truth is this. House and Senate Republicans were really never sold on this idea of a massive infrastructure bill, $1 trillion or $2 trillion. Why? Because it would have required one or two things. Higher taxes, probably on gasoline. Most Republicans are opposed to that. Or deficit spending. And there are a lot of House Republicans and Senate Republicans that are not eager to deficit finance a lot of infrastructure, even though they know more roads, bridges, better ports is a national priority. So the truth of yesterday's big blow-up was that it largely obscured something that honest Republicans would tell you privately. Even if there had been a great meeting, even if the president had rolled it out, and even if he had had a handshake with Nancy Pelosi and Charles Schumer, the head of the Senate Democrats, Republicans probably were not going to follow the president into this battle. And they would have blown up on Republican watch, not Democrats' watch. So I think what happened, the president knew that was coming and said, why don't we just have a typical ugly Washington dispute? Everyone gets a little bit of blame, but my Republicans don't get most of the blame for torpedoing infrastructure, which they probably would have done down the road.
Seriously. So you think this was a setup?
I think it was slightly manufactured. Look, the president's grievances about House Democratic investigations are real. He believes they are fundamentally valid, and he believes the Mueller report is what it is, and all that could be found has been found, and this is a dead issue. And he is genuinely aggravated that House Democrats have not moved on. Now, that's real, but that was as real Tuesday as it was yesterday. Mm-hmm. There's nothing really new. Even Nancy Pelosi, the House Speaker, had used the word cover-up before. So it wasn't as if there was some great affront that the president noticed yesterday morning that didn't exist before. I think he wants to tell the country, I'm sick and tired of investigations, and if you want Washington to work, you better start blaming the Democrats. It's a political maneuver. We'll see what value it brings, if any.
Major Garrett, CBS White House correspondent, substitute teacher on the CBS Evening News, and most important, the anchor of the podcast The Takeout, which we air Sundays here on KIRO Radio. Major, thanks.
Thank you so much.